In today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I set up these beautiful $25 shrimp breeding bins. So about a month and a half ago, I decided that I was going to breed some more Neocaridina shrimp in my fish room, and I decided that I wanted to do this more of an unconventional way than I would previously have done. So previously I used to breed a lot of shrimp in tanks, and I've actually been breeding a lot in tanks at the moment. But I decided it'd be a fun project to try and do some breeding in some different types of bins and containers. So I found these two 70-litre bins at my local hardware store here in Australia.
So these are just two bins. These are like 12 bucks each, I think.
Which is pretty cheap when compared to your standard aquariums. So I picked these two bins up with the intention of breeding some shrimp in them. Doing something like this is really easy, and I wanted to make this video to show you guys how easy something like this is to do. The shrimp I'm trying to breed are some Neocaridinas. So for this project, as you would have seen in my last video, I decided to start breeding some yellow cherries, some blue dream shrimp, and some red cherry shrimp. I did a combination of the two in the two separate bins to try and see what kind of colors I'd get. That's besides the point. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to do something like this. Before I added anything into these tubs, I decided to wash them out to make sure all of that factory sludge was no longer on the surface of the inside of the bin. I then went ahead and I filled up the containers with some water, and I added some Java moss. So I decided to add some Java moss as this would be a great live plant for these tubs. It's super easy to grow and it's super reliable, and I knew it would help turn these little bins into an ecosystem. I then went ahead and added a little piece of crushed coral to help the shrimp with molting their exoskeletons. So this will help to boost the carbonate hardness within the bins, and in turn this will help the shrimp to molt properly. After this, I decided to attach some pothos to the sides of the bins. So I did this by using some electrical tape. And the reason I added these plants is, firstly, they're very easy to grow. All you need to do is have the roots immersed in water and the plant just grows like crazy. I did this because it helps to turn it into an ecosystem, as these plants are going to use a lot of the nitrates and ammonia to actually grow. But the other thing is it just looks really cool in my opinion, and it kind of turns it from, in some ways, a grungy little bin to a tiny little ecosystem that might be a little bit easier on the eye. After all this was done, it was time to add the shrimp. So as you can see here, I've got a colony of yellow cherries. I've got a colony of blue dreams, then I have another colony of blue dreams and a colony of red cherries. In the bin on the left, I added the blue dreams and the red cherries, and then in the bin on the right, I added the yellow cherries and the blue dreams. I left these guys go for a month, and I fed them once every 3 days with some cichlid pellets, and also when I set up, I added a few Indian almond leaves, and these helped to keep the shrimp fed, and then I came back a month later and had a look at how they were doing. Within a month, we had pretty clear results on how this project was going to go. The results didn't surprise me too much. We did have a lot of breeding in both of the tubs. I had more success in the yellow cherries cross blue dreams, and I think this is due to the fact that I've pulled all these shrimp from colonies within my fish room, so there's no acclimation really needed for these shrimp to settle into their new home and start being comfortable and start breeding. They pretty much hit it off straight away and started to reproduce. And looking around within the tub, we can see there's dozens of little babies swimming around and all doing really well. However, in the red cherry shrimp cross blue dream shrimp tank, we can see that they didn't do as well. I actually did lose quite a few red cherry shrimp, and I think this was due to the fact that I had to actually purchase some red cherry shrimp because I had none left in the fish room, and when I did this, the shrimp had to acclimatize. So the blue dreams did fantastic, but I lost a few red cherry shrimp, and I think this just threw the colony off a little bit, and they didn't reproduce as well as the yellow cherries and the blue dreams did. Nonetheless, there's still babies in here, and I'm interested to see what kind of colors we get after a few more months. So at the moment, we're at the 1 month mark and everything seems to be going really well. I'm going to be really interested to see what happens in another few months in regards to if we're going to start getting some different colors or if we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of babies. So the whole project cost me about $25. So the bins themselves were the biggest cost. I then added some shrimp, which was free for me, except for the red cherries, which cost me about 10 bucks for the 10 of them, and the coral I collected for free. So I fudged up the number from 14 to about 25 because this is what I'd estimated it would cost for you guys to do. But you can see here with minimum materials, the kind of stuff you can do within this hobby. Not everything needs to be expensive and complicated. And from what it seems, a lot of the time we only need a vessel for water for doing a lot of these projects. So it's not essential that we have a tank. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the little colonies being built and watching them reproduce really quickly. And I'll see you guys in the next one.